Alright, what's up, guys? You're back here with another movie review, and today we are continuing our Stephen King reviews. We're on our third one now, and we're reviewing the original 1976 Carrie. Now, there are four Carrie movies. Yes, I don't know if some of you knew this, but there are actually four Carrie movies. There's a 1976 one, then there's a remake from 2002, and then there's Carrie 2 The Rage, and then there's a 2013 remake. There's four Carrie movies, and this is just the first one of the four. This is the original. Now, when I went to watch this a couple hours ago, I had read the book several times, and I saw the 2013 remake. I never saw this one, actually. Yes, I never saw this one. Never cared to go see it. But I had seen the one with that Grace Mortez chick, which is the 2013 remake. And I had heard of Carrie 2 The Rage. I never heard of the 2002 remake. I didn't even know that existed. But this is just one I never watched. I had heard of it. But this has Sissy Spacek in it and John Travolta. Sissy Spacek plays as Carrie. And John Travolta, he has a semi-main character in it. This movie was actually pretty good. I enjoyed a majority of it. It had a pretty good ending. I'm trying to think. I enjoyed the majority of the movie, is what I'm trying to say. This movie is an hour and 38 minutes, and it has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is really good. It almost has 100%, which it should have 100%. This movie is definitely a classic on all standards, but the thing I'm most surprised about, there is a lot of nudity in this movie for a 70s movie. It's pretty inappropriate for a 70s movie, which kind of shocked me. But whatever, I enjoyed it. So this is based off of I know I already said this, but a book by Stephen King. I think it was one of his first books. And this was the first ever movie of his that got adapted. This was the first one. And it went off with a bang. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. So Carrie is so the movie starts off, it basically starts off with this girl, and she's really awkward, and everybody in school, all the kids bully her and stuff. And her name is Carrie White. And first scene of this movie, she's this really awkward girl. Her mother's like super abusive and religious, like fire and brimstone religious. And she beats her daughter all the time. She tells her how she's a sinner and stuff, but she's basically scarred Carrie. She's like this awkward little girl. And I think it's a graduation year of her school. And she's a good girl, but her mother's like super abusive and religious, so she thinks she's not. And so I'm going like brain dead here. God damn it, focus. Okay. So she then so the movie starts off, she's in this like fucking gym class or something, And she goes to the showers, and there's like so much female nudity in this. It's not even. It's like the entire opening scene is just nudity. I feel like I'm watching an anime. But no, it's like she gets in the shower and she's in like graduation year, and she has her first period in the shower, and all the kids make fun of her. So they start throwing tampons and shit at her. And this is in the beginning of the movie. And she's 18, so all the teachers are concerned, like, shit, she's old. How is she having her first period? So, like, yeah, they start throwing, like, tampons and shit, and the gym teacher is a female, so she's like this woman. And she comes in, she gets all pissed off at the kids, and she thinks it's wrong that they're doing that. So she shoos them out, and she takes Carrie to the principal. The principal excuses her from school, and she goes home. Then we get to meet her religious mother. And we get a scene where her religious mother goes around town. She hasn't gotten home yet, but she goes around town, and she knocks on people's doors to give them the word of God. And she meets up with this woman, and she's got this daughter that goes to the same school, and she joined in on the bullying of throwing tampons and shit at Harry. And, of course, she got scot-free with that. And, so the religious mother, Margaret White is her name in the movie. She goes home, and she finds out about her first period. And she says it's because it's the sin of lust or something. Like, she's like super fire and brimstone. This woman is fucking nuts. She is evil. So she starts hitting Carrie in the face with a book, and then she drags her into this dark room with this really creepy ass Jesus statue with arrows in it. And she makes her sit in there till like nighttime. Then she comes out, goes up to bed. Carrie comes out of the closet, goes up to bed. And she stares into the mirror. And there's been like hints of that because Carrie has telekinetic abilities, but the mother doesn't know about it yet. Like, for example, when the other girls were bullying her, she got all freaked out and the light bulb burst in the ceiling. And then when she was in the principal's office, the principal kept calling her Cassie, and she didn't like that, so the ashtray on the principal's desk exploded. And then she's looking into the mirror that night, and she remembered what happened, and she cracks her mirror. And the mother comes up and asks what's wrong. She says nothing, so the mother goes back down to do her whatever the fuck she was doing. So then we get this scene where this guy named Tommy, I think it was, and the woman that Margaret's character visited earlier's daughter, we're gonna call her the daughter, decides to talk to her boyfriend, and she feels sorry for Carrie. So she decides to make her boyfriend ask. So then she decides to ask her boyfriend to take Carrie to the prom. And he decides to do it. Then we get another scene where this prissy bitch, I call her the prissy bitch, she's that bitch that's got the blonde hair and chews bubblegum all the time. That prissy bitch. Ham wears expensive clothes, but that prissy bitch. Her and her boyfriend, which is actually John Travolta. John Travolta's got this like fucking hick-like accent. I'm sorry. It's a terrible accent, okay? I can't stand John Travolta's character in this. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. He's got this hick accent, and it's just like so fucking annoying. And that's one of the problems of this movie, is just John Travolta's acting. In my opinion, other than Pulp Fiction, John Travolta has never had a role where I was impressed with.
He may have been in movies that I liked, but I didn't like his role in it. Even his character in Pulp Fiction was still not one of my favorites. He was good in it, but it's not. I never did think Pulp Fiction was a exceptional movie like everybody said. I just thought it was one of Quentin Tarantino's worst movies. Now I'm probably going to get murdered for saying that, but you know what? That's my own opinion. I never did like Pulp Fiction. I thought it was pretty mediocre for a Quentin Tarantino movie. But it's got quotes in it too, but I never did like John Travolta. I just don't. I like The Punisher from 2004, but I don't like his character in that. He has a terrible character in that. And let's not talk about Battlefield Earth or fucking Old Dogs or Night at the Roxbury I can take because Will Ferrell's in it. I mean, no, that's not Will Ferrell. Who the fuck was in Night at the Roxbury? Was it John Travolta? I think it was John Travolta and Will Ferrell. It might have been somebody else. But no, I just never did like him. So John Travolta and this prissy bitch, they decide to she decides to ask him to do something. Well, this is after the woman, the daughter, asks Tommy to take Carrie to the dance because she feels sorry for her. Then Sissy finds out about this. So she goes behind the daughter's back and decide to pull a prank on Carrie. They're going to make her prom queen and pour pig's blood on top of her head once she gets the tiara or whatever. So, and the daughter and Tommy legitimately want to help Carrie. And it's actually kind of sad because everybody's going behind their back. So then we get the scene where then we get the scene where the prissy bitch and John Travolta decide to go to the slaughterhouse or whatever and kill a pig and take his blood. There's a scene where they do that. And then they go to the school to tie the bucket up on top, up above the stage. So when the time is right, a rope will pull it down. They trailed a rope from down the side of the stage all the way under it. And John Travolta and the prissy bitch will go under the stage and pull the fucking lever or whatever. Well, no, it's another couple of people. So there's a third couple of people. I'm just going to call them the douchebags. It's a woman and a girl. They're the ones pulling the strings, and John Travolta's character and the prissy bitch will be up above the gymnasium on the grass looking through the window. Because the gymnasium is like below ground level. So it's the night of the prom, and Tommy goes to ask, well, it's the day before prom, and Tommy decides to go ask Carrie out to the prom. And Carrie, of course, now it's not a prank. Well, she doesn't know that the others are pranking him, but Tom legitimately wants to ask her out. So he asks her, and she thinks it's a prank. So she goes to the gym teacher, because the gym teacher is like her go-to character in this movie. So she goes to the gym teacher. Well, no, she goes outside to sit on a bench, and then the gym teacher shows up. And she asks her about the prom thing. And I need to go back a little bit, because there was a scene where the gym teacher confronted all the girls that bullied Carrie, and she banned one of them from the prom or whatever. And so she banned one of them from the prom.
Hmm. She banned one of them from the prom, and she said if you do so, well, they have to like spend an hour a day in gym every day instead of just once a week. I don't know. They got a punishment for it, but one of them got banned, and that's the one that's going to be pulling the string under the fucking floorboards, the stage or whatever. So, oh god damn it! Then Carrie freaks out, goes sit on the bench, and the gym teacher shows up. Carrie tells her that Tom asked her out, and then let's see. Oh shit! What was I gonna say? I'm trying to think really hard. I apologize. So then the gym teacher tries to go confront the daughter and Tom or Tommy, whatever. I don't even fucking care. Tommy Jarvis. I'm gonna call him Tommy Jarvis. No, that would get confusing. So old Tommy boy, um, old Tommy boy gets confronted by the gym teacher, and he tells Tommy Knocker. I mean, she tells Tommy Knockers. Oh fuck. So hot tamales is like, fuck. I don't even care. Tommy. So then she finds out that their intentions are legitimate and they want to help out Carrie. But the gym teacher doesn't know about the prank. And neither does Tommy or his girlfriend. So then Carrie is still like refusing the offer. So she goes home, talks to her mom, and then he shows up at her doorstep and he bugs her about it. And she finally says yes. And he's picking her up at 8 o'clock, and it's the day of. So then Carrie talks to her mom about it. And her mom gets pissed about it, but then her mom goes up because it's raining or some shit, and they're eating dinner together. And her mom gets up to go close all the windows and doors. And Carrie uses her telekinesis to shut them all for her, and her mother tells her, "Oh, that's devil shit. You shouldn't play with that." So then she refuses to abide by the mom's rules and decides to take control of her life and say fuck the mom. And she goes with Tommy to the dance, and this whole shindig goes on. She's so happy. It's such a nice moment. They get up there. She gets voted to be prom queen, and the pig blood falls on top of her, and then she kills everybody in that gym. So then, now the daughter, Tommy gets murdered, but the daughter, his girlfriend, manages to escape. But then we got John Travolta's character. So Carrie walks out of the gymnasium. And then as she's walking away from the school building, she gets out in the street, and John Travolta's character is driving with the prissy bitch character, his girlfriend. And they're driving away, and they almost drive into Carrie. They see her in the road, so they try to swerve right, but Carrie flips over the car and then explodes it on impact and kills both of them. So then she goes home to meet up with her mother and apologize to her for being devilish. But then her mother takes a knife and stabs her in the back. There's a fight scene that ensues, and then finally Carrie takes a bunch of knives off the kitchen wall and stabs them into her mother, pinning her against the wall. And she unpins her mother and then starts crying. Then the house collapses and catches on fire and basically goes to the pits of hell. And the movie ends with the daughter character having flashbacks and nightmare of everybody getting murdered at the prom. And she has a nightmare of Carrie's hand reaching up from the pits of hell and grabbing her arm. Like, I want you too, Malachi. I want you too. Shit like that.
So yeah, that was uh that was Carrie, 1976. Oh, yeah, that was a good movie. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This movie is a classic. I'm gonna give it an A plus. I think it deserves it. This is a really good movie. I mean, I haven't seen the remakes in a while, so I don't know how they can compare to this. I've heard that they're pretty bad, but I'm gonna watch them anyway and review them because they are part of the series, and that's what I'm doing. I'm reviewing all the Stephen King movies or parts, and including all these sequels to them. That's what I'm doing. But yeah, Carrie, 1976. I'm gonna give it an A plus. Now the way I rate my movies are A plus are the best of the best. A is good, but not an. I mean, really, really fucking good, but not enough to be an A plus. B would be it's still pretty good. C would be a meh. D would be bad, and F would be fucking terrible. And then I got a guilty pleasures category. Movies that are bad, but I highly enjoy them. Like the Resident Evil movies, for example. I actually enjoy those. The Doom movie. Love that movie. But yeah, Carrie 1976, A plus. Remember to leave a comment, like, and subscribe.